When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening and happy Tuesday, everybody, as we are back after a week off here on the Elite Racing Network, but the Modifieds continue to rumble as the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds are ready to take on the half mile of mayhem. That is Martinsville Speedway. Thanks for joining us here again on the Elite Racing Network tonight. Along with Mike Goodman, I'm Connor Sullivan. Thank you for joining us as despite us being off on ERN last week, the Elite Modifieds did continue to race as they took on the Milwaukee Mile last week. Andrew Rucker gained the win in that one over Brian Kramer, Darrell Canfield, and Chad Frankenfield in that one. As again, the reason we were off the air, one of us, not me, had some recovering from a certain race over the past weekend, but we're ready to go here as Mike, we got one heck of a points battler. Tyler Fody won the season opener. Iowa Speedway's the points leader, but he has Brandon Wilkinson, Andrew Rucker, and Ryan Gavel right behind him.
Yeah, Andrew Rucker with his win last week put himself right in the mix of it. As you see there's been 4 races so far this season, but there is one drop week. That's why, as far as the races counted, it will say 3 starts for that. And obviously, some of these guys missed weeks. Even I know Brandon. I think he had to have a recovery day as well. Road America. It was pretty wild, pretty crazy, pretty fun, and glad to be back, fully ready to see this action here at this half mile of mayhem. Which under the lights too. There's nothing more prestigious than that.
Yep, and of course the NASCAR Wheel and Modify Tour made their return to Martinsville this past April. Of course, it was supposed to be last year, but unfortunately that race was a victim of the COVID-19 shutdown of 2020. But luckily the tour made its triumphant return to Martinsville. Of course, Eric Goodale getting the win back in the spring, as it's actually a big week for modified racing up here in New England, as the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour will be heading to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for their annual 100-mile race up there. Always some great time. One of the best modified races you will see all year. And really, a pair of good weeks coming up for modified racing, as the following week, the Tri-Track Open Modified Series will be in action at the Quarter Mile Star Speedway just down the road in Epping, New Hampshire. That will be live on Speed51.tv on there. So 2 great modified races to look forward to in the next few weeks in real life. But as for tonight at Martinsville, we're getting ready to go here as league qualifying is complete, as we've got James Stanger on the front row along with Kyle Sisko and one of the real world guys, Blake Barney, the New Jersey driver, in the fields tonight, starting in third. And he will start alongside Ryan Gavel, who was your winner a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen in that thriller.
Yeah, that was a good one indeed. Probably one of the best races we've seen here on ERN in a long time. But it does appear to be that I'm not sure what the. Let's see, is this going to come up correctly? Oh, there we go. I was looking at the side thing. There we go with the starting grid. Stanger getting on the front row there, and the two guys topping the points, starting back in the third row, Brandon Wilkinson and Tyler Fody. So usually they're up front. And how about our Bristol winner, Fadaruso? He's going to be starting 7th.
Yep, and Jesse Rasmus will be to his outside. And again, your winner a week ago, Andrew Rucker, he's going to have a little bit of a hill to climb as he will start in 9th position alongside Richard Hines, Jay Kaner, and Jack Ely. Ely, of course, another one of the real world racers. He will start outside of row 6. Tate Lytle in the field tonight. He's alongside Chad Frankenfield, Brandon Paul, Daryl Canfield, 2 of the Hacksaw Motorsports drivers in the field. Of course, Ryan Gavel, who's really been flying the flag for that team so far this season.
And then we'll look through the rest of the lineup here. I don't know if this is what we got going on here. Might be a little bit of a heat action going on. Appears to be this Fadaruso, who he did qualify about mid-pack. So there's going to be a little bit of heat action going on here. And it looks like Fadaruso on the pole. Wilkinson on the outside of him as well. So a little different format here, I guess, tonight. Unaware of the changes. Looks like it's going to be a little 10-lap shootout here.
Well, nothing like a little warm-up to get things going here. So, again, Ray Fadaruso, the Bristol winner. Brandon Wilkinson, the defending Elite Modified champion, will start alongside here. As I'm not used to seeing the heat racing when the tour goes to Martinsville. Again, you'll usually see that for series like the Tri-Track Open Modified Series, the Modified Racing Series, the Race of Champions Tour, that kind of stuff.
Okay, just getting word 2 heat races here tonight, so that will set the lineup. So something a little bit different going on. Thanks, Ryan Gavel, for that update.
Well, I'm always on for some heat racing. Take it over time trials. Here we go. Underway for 10 laps as Wilkinson a quick cut to the inside right in front of Blake Barney, and Fadaruso spins around and he takes Jay Kaner with him. So, boy, big trouble for Ray Fadaruso. Couldn't even make it through the first turn.
Yeah, just a little bit too much mustard going on there going into the first corner. We'll take one look at it again to see what happened right off the start. He had a good jump going into one. Looked like the rear end got away from him. We'll take a peek here. Is that maybe too much rear brake, you think? Oh.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Of course, Martinsville in the real world is a track that is notorious for catching drivers out with wheel hop, and I think it might have been the same thing that happened to Fadaruso here.
Yeah, for Fadaruso, good started on the pole, but now he'll go all the way in the back. He's currently scored in 10th. 2 cars that were also involved, Capuano and Kaner, they're going to be on pit road. Kaner scored 2 laps down. Capuano scored 1. See if they get back out there. But unfortunately, they're not ends early, and Fadaruso goes from the point all the way back to 10th.
Yep, so Brandon Wilson will be scored the leader here. Blake Barney, too, is outside as Barney, interesting here, he scored at the 23, but in the field on his car, he's got his familiar number 14 on the side of the car. Of course, that's a very famous paint job down at Wall Stadium Speedway in New Jersey, as these laps under yellow are counting towards the heats. So bit of a spoiler here for this quick little heat race. So it's not going to be a lot of time for drivers to make their moves once we get that going.
Hopefully everyone can keep it clean. I know that the anxiety will be ramped up. Be roughly about 5 laps to go by the time they take the green flag. If the lights do go out here, appears they might be lining up. Oh, they're doubling up. I don't know if Barney's put a little chrome horn to Wilkinson on the start. Maybe intimidate him a little bit.
Yep, it looks like the lights are indeed off on the pace car. As field is really tightening up here. Looks like we'll go back to it with 6 laps complete. As
It looks like the lights are back on now.
yeah, is not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, so looks like an extended caution for a some reason or another. It appears that 10 cars still on the racetrack. Now the pace car lights are off. Again, right now, your top 10 is Wilkinson, Barney on the front row. Rucker and Stanger will be in row 2. Row 3, Paul and Lytle. Row 4 will be Jones and Madonia. And then the final row here, the cars that are left in this heat are Kramer and Fadaruso. And these heat races are only scoring for the starting position. No one's going to miss the show here, but that just makes it more fun to beat and bang here. We'll see what happens when they go back to green with 5 laps to go. Wilkinson kind of off to a great restart.
Yep, Wilkinson really jumps out of the box. Says across the line now will be 4 to go. Yep, there we go. 4 laps to go as he's got Blake Barney right on his tail. Meanwhile, they're stacked 2 deep behind as Rucker has jumped up to the 3rd position.
Yeah, Rucker and right behind them, Stanger and Lytle are battling for that 4th spot. Currently held by Tate, but Stanger, I think on the outside, is going to be too hard to defend. He's in danger of losing that 5th spot now by Madonia. And oh, they can make a little contact. Washes him up, and Stanger, he's going to be on the free fall here a little bit as he's fallen from about 4th all the way back to 6th so far.
Of course, Martinsville, known as a low groove racetrack. As we see the top 2 really pulling away here.
Oh,
2 to go. They're going to get the white flag. So we got a lot of jostling in the back as Stanger really washing up the track. As we have 1 lap to go now, the white flag's shown on the starter's stand. Wilkinson, the leader, as they go down the back straightaway. Barney, he knows it's just a heat race, doesn't want to do anything too crazy. He'll take a quick look to the outside, but it's going to be all Brandon Wilkinson in heat race number 1, taking down the win.
It's kind of crazy to think this is the first time all season, it's only a heat race so far, that Brandon Wilkinson has taken a checkered flag. In years past in these Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modified Tours, defending champion, that he sees victory lane quite often, but so far this season, that's the first time he's taken a checkered flag. So maybe that's some good momentum he can carry into the feature coming up as we get ready for heat number 2.
Jesse Rasmus, Tyler Fody will be your front row. Ryan Gabel and Kyle Sisko.
I was going to say, I thought maybe the grid would show the heats, but they only show the race there.
Yep. Ryan Gabel, Kyle Sisko, row 2. Richard Hines, Jack Ely in row number 3. Chad Brankenfield and Daryl Canfield in row 4. David Carpenter, Mitch Drunowski, and Kyle Walgren round out the field. This one will be an 11-car field here. Again, it will be 10 laps. All laps counting towards the race distance as lights are already off on the pace car. These guys are quick to get down to it.
Yeah, I think they're only going to get 1 lap to warm up here. And I'm going to be interested to see because Fody hasn't shown that speed that he's had weeks past, and Gavel right behind him as well. We'll see how this one plays out. We
have another aborted starts here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a glitch or something with the lights, or maybe they're playing tricks on us here. This is the 2nd time that's gone down.
No, the lights are definitely off on the pace car this time. But in any case, it will give these drivers a chance to get their tires nice and warm. Here, of course, last thing you want to do is spin the tires. One thing you want at Martinsville is definitely a good low-end gear on these restarts with these long straightaways as the pace car is now off. Rasmus leads the field to the green. There it is. We're underway here for heat race number 2 as here comes Gavel trying to shut out Fody on the outside. Fody getting up into the asphalt, and he's going to lose more than 1 position as Gavel is looking for the lead into turn 3.
Gavel is not playing around here as he worked his way up to potentially for the lead here as he's drag racing Rasmus on, or Rasma on the first lap. And man, oh, Fody getting into the wall. Oh man, a big one on the backstretch.
Big crash.
Oh man. And it looks like his night's going to be over in this heat early. Luckily for us and especially for him. It's a heat race in iRacing, and that car will reset for the feature. But man, he seemed to be struggling quite a bit,
green.
Connor. Oh, we're still going green. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're still green as the track is clear. Now Gavel still scored as nope as now
there's
we're
the yellow.
Under the yellow flag. So unfortunately trouble in both of these heat races to start off the night, as now we see yellow flag being indicated. So Gavel able to maintain the lead over Rasmus, Kyle Sisko, Chad Frankenfield, Rich Junowski will be your top 5. So a very rough and tumble start here in both these heat races.
Yeah, and it just seemed like Fody was struggling kind of the whole time by here. We can take a look at the replay of Tyler Fody and see what exactly kind of happened there. But he was struggling even on that opening start, Connor. It looked like you said, he was running a little wide, and he was stuck kind of on that outside, and it seemed to kind of get the better of him. We'll get the replay going.
Yeah, and Fody, of course, he's the points leader. And while this won't count towards the points, it's going to be very tough for him, considering that, yeah, he just got up high out of the racing groove, and he got collected very, very hard.
And it seemed like almost exactly what you were talking about right to begin the race. He didn't have the grip in his rear tires, and it looks like he just kind of went around there. And unfortunate for him, he's still sitting on pit road.
He's going to have a long way to go at the start of tonight's, I believe it's 100 laps tonight.
Yep, should be the Martinsville 100. No sponsor tonight, except for, of course, Maconi Setup Shop. Thanks for them for hopping along. And if you're out there on running iRacing, go check them out. Good setups. I can attest to that. Being a moderate driver, getting those setups, it makes me punch way above my weight. So check them out at MaconiSetupShop.com.
And of course, on the Elite Racing Network, the Firecracker 200 coming up, we hope, tomorrow night. I'm actually going to be on the call for that one. Still working out the announcer lineup, but hopefully we'll be good to go for that one. As Jack Ely, by the way, was the second car that was collected in that one, so he'll have to go from the back along with Fody. Meanwhile, I have a 4-lap trophy dash here as Gavel gets away. Rasmus on the outside, and Cisco is going to take advantage and jump up to the second position in that number 8 car.
Yeah, wow, Gavel with a great restart. Cisco right behind him in second. Battling it out here. Now taking 3 laps to go. Carpenter in the back of the pack trying to work on that outside on Richard Hines. Nothing doing there. Let's back up front.
Everybody kind of behaving themselves now, just trying to get to the finish. Gavel's still the leader, but Cisco, he's really working on that back bumper. The chrome horn is going to be a key tool tonight at Martinsville.
He was
Cisco,
thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. He might be waiting. Don't want to give Gavel a chance to gain some payback, although he's going to have 100 left to get a payback out there. Is Cisco, he's just trying to force Gavel to making a mistake as they get the white flag.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just like, I could, just letting you know I could, but I'm not going to. Let's see if he's going to do it. This is probably going to be in the corner here, turns 3 and 4.
Gavel really running, really dominating the track with that conservative line, and he's going to get the getaway and take the checkered flag for the win in heat number 2 for the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds here at Martinsville Speedway. So that will just about do it, as we are now set to go 100 laps of racing. I don't know what Kyle Cisco is doing donuts on the back straightaway for. He finished second. Still only a heat race.
Maybe he knows I could have got the win if I wanted to lay the chrome horn, because he had opportunities there, but decided to be better of it. And man, I think
you don't want to get anybody mad at you before the races even started.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to. Yeah, like you said, you have 100 laps to go here. It would be a very unwise decision, especially when all the cars make the features. Obviously, they were plenty good, even if there was a chance they'd miss the race. And yeah, you don't want to make them mad. Especially they'll be starting right next to each other here as well, as it will be Brandon Wilkinson and Ryan Gavel starting up front on the pole here.
Yep, of course they they will start the races in the order that they finished. Their heat races.
And
all cars from heat 1 will start on the inside line, whereas finishers from heat 2 will start on the outside line, much like they do at a certain race in February in Florida.
Yeah, so we kind of had dual races here, basically for the most part. And
no complicated handicap system that we see at some of the short tracks out there. So Brandon Wilkinson, Ryan Gavel, your heat race winners. They make up the front row. Blake Barney and Kyle Sisko will be in row number 2, and then you'll have Andrew Rucker and Jesse Rasmus in row number 3.
So now, this has been a reoccurring thing since Bristol, and we've been told today that fuel should not be an issue in these 100 laps at Martinsville. But Connor, I mean,
did they say that really?
That's what they say. But I think if we had to put money on it back at Bristol, we would have thought they would have been fine to make the whole distance. So I think it's going to be we shall see, and maybe some of these guys will find out as this race goes along. It could get interesting. I'm still shocked they couldn't make it at Bristol.
Yeah, me too. So still trying to wrap my head around that one. Of course, Martinsville, another half-mile track, but is similar to, except in every way possible, apart from the distance around. Of course, you got some concrete there, but of course you got the asphalt on the straightaways. One of the unique properties of this old timer of a racetrack. Of course, built back in the late 1940s, first opened as a dirt track, then you went onto the asphalt, and then in the 80s, when you still had the Grand National cars and the modifieds tearing up the asphalt in the corners, that's when they decided to add the concrete, and they resurfaced the track a couple of years back. And it is one of the finalists on the circuit. Is we are green for 100 laps here at the Martinsville Speedway. Wilkinson quick to make a move to the lead as the valves for second. Blake Barney looking to the outside.
Whoa!
Ryan Gavel. Gavel, a big switch. And Reeve has to defend like mad against Blake Barney. Has still come back to complete lap number 1. Sisko now to the inside of Barney.
Oh, Barney looks like he kissed the wall just a little bit coming out back straight away.
Did it a couple of times out there.
Man, you got a lot of guys, hungry drivers up front, but right now, Blake Barney, man, he was, just a second ago, he was making a move for second place, but now he's under threat with Sisko to fall back into fourth, and as we were saying, hitting the wall, arcing it wide, he's dropping
wide.
back.
He might have damage. He clipped the curb on the last lap, which got him out of shape, too, so Barney, a little surprising. Again, he's one of the few real-world drivers, and he knows how to wrangle a modifieds. Again, coming from Wall Stadium, one of the toughest short tracks to race on pretty much in the entire world, at least in my opinion.
So, I mean, it's been a long time since I ran modified on iRacing. Is it kind of similar as running a Cup car or an Xfinity car, where sometimes even just getting out of a rhythm that could kind of throw you off? It seems like he's getting some pace back. Oh man, he's getting a little loose there, but I think he just has to settle down and get back in that rhythm.
Andrew Rucker, your winner from a week ago, he's got a wheel to the inside, but Barney, he's got the speed there, but I'll tell you what, Goody, he is going to use up his tires pretty dang quick.
Yeah, and
we slide around right here as
we are
got some trouble. We've got a yellow flag.
Caution is out, and trying to see if there's any cars with damage in the back. We'll see if we can find and figure out what happened. To bring
Probably
out
some hijinks amongst people in the back.
Oh, found it. We'll get it going here in just a
This could
second.
be good.
Oh man, it started way earlier than I thought it did. Uh-oh. I think it's one of your...
Are we gonna have people mad at each other?
Oh, maybe. It's one of your Speed 51 brother in here. Oh, Brandon Paul. And then it kind of caused a chain reaction with Richard Hines behind him. And Fody getting involved, stacking up. Oh, Fody's got some heavy damage on the front end of his car again. So it kind of really hurts being in the back of the pack. We'll kind of show you what happened with these guys.
That's kind of on Fody for the mistake he made in the. As we see, was actually able to save it. Gonna be some heavy damage to the front of Fody's number 40.
But he kind of put himself in that position after that bad heat race. Kind of, it seemed like Hines was kind of reacting to what was happening with Brandon Paul ahead of him. And that kind of caused that accordion chain reaction behind him. But, you got to wonder if, if Fody stuck around in that top 5, he would have kind of been out of that trouble and out of the kind of where things can get crazy to the back of the pack here, especially when something at Martinsville goes wrong. It can be hard to miss. It's not that wide of a track.
Yep. So trouble on lap number 6 has brought us under yellow, and again in this 100 lap race, caution laps do count towards the end of the race. Again, we will have if we go past the regulation distance under the yellow flag, we will have a chance to end in an overtime period as Fody returns to pit road for more repairs. But I don't know. I think his chances of taking his second win of the season have taken a major hit.
I think so, especially if these guys can go the rest of the way on fuel. From what we're hearing, I think guys up front here, Wilkinson and Gavel, probably not going to hit pit road if they don't burn up their tires. But and I'm sure that 56, again, 0 wins so far this season. Again, this is only the 5th race. But I think even a guy who'd usually expect him to see him have a couple wins at this point of the season. So he's going to be hungry, and it's going to be tough to not only work your way up through the pack, but pass especially these guys up in the top 4 here. You got some very hungry drivers, very quick drivers. And again, even going back to that 5th spot, Andrew Rucker, last week's winner at Milwaukee, we got a pretty competitive field up front.
And of course, no repeat winners, as you had Bodie, the winner at Iowa, Otto Russo, the winner at Bristol, and you had Gavel win at Watkinsville on the road course, and then, of course, Rucker, the winner at Milwaukee last week. As we're back under green, another nice restart for Wilkinson as Gavel. He's going to have his hands full with Kyle Sisko.
And Kyle Sisko goes around, and how about this? Blake Barney's going to try to get that rhythm back, now trying to work past Ryan Gavel, but nothing doing so far. We do have a little battle back in the pack. Tate Lytle and Reismas in that 70. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. I'm probably butchering it a little bit. And this is Tate Lytle's first start this season in that 56 mod.
He was actually thinking about jumping onto the broadcast this time. But no, he decided to get on the modified outs. And all I could say is always good to see a driver get into a modified, whether it's in the real world or here on iRacing.
That's right. He was juggling between the microphone and the steering wheel, and I think at the end of the day, he ended up getting the steering wheel right now, currently battling for the 6th position. And with that battle, these top 5 have really pulled away. You see Andrew Rucker, he's got about over a second over the guys in battling there for 6th and 7th position. As Blake Barney still can't get by Gavel, still trying to work on that back bumper. Oh, the 70.
Oh, Rasmus hard in the wall.
Oh, man. And let's see if caution, I believe, should be out. Yep, caution is out. So that battle between him and Lytle getting a little too crazy. We'll check out the replay here.
You can't stay on the outside for too long at Martinsville. You'll burn the tires up, and the next time you make even the slightest mistake, it will be magnified by quite a bit of a factor. Here we go.
We'll check it. Oop, check it out. Just swinging it wide. Oh, getting up. Collecting a bunch of cars to 7. Or not the real 7. That's the different number 7 here. And gotta figure out who that is in 1 second. Erasmus able to keep going. Okay, that's the 57 of Drunowski. That's where that 7 came into play. Also getting involved.
Got the Mr. Rooter colors on the back panel of that other number 7 out there.
Yeah, 57 in the program, number 7 on the track. We were trying to look for these guys before the race. I guess we found the missing link one. That's old Mitch fooled us here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, of course, Cisco running. Couldn't know. So is it the 8 or the 6? It's been a little hard to see from my angle.
He is running in the 6 machine. Although right there, kind of, I can see where you see it looks like an 8.
It's tricky with the Nerf bars. You never.
Yeah, never
Nerf
quite
bars
tell.
Especially the Nerf bars are the same color as one of the main colors on the car. One of the reasons why I like teams that just go with the bare silver bumpers and Nerf bars.
Oh yeah,
I think a little bit more old school, and personally, I think they're just a little bit more badass.
Heck yeah, you gotta you're not trying to look too pretty, too fancy. So you could be scuffing them up anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, why waste the money on the paint out there? Plus, where do you think you got? Plus, the guys that run the unpainted bumpers, do actually have a chrome horn.
Yeah, so it's legit then. You can actually say, hey, I'm using the chrome horn, not well, a lot of these guys, it looks like they're using the black horn with their painted Nerf bars. So lap 20 of 100 complete. 2 cautions already coming out here in the feature, and yeah, it does seem like you were saying, Connor, like if you get stuck on that outside, it's just can't make it stick too long, as we've seen Rasmus to bring out that yellow, just getting it's almost like he got it up into marbles or something, getting out of the corner and just couldn't keep it off the wall. And man, it's just crazy how these modifieds too, if you hit the wall just right, you're doing a little bit of wall riding, as we are getting ready to go back green flag racing here.
Martinsville is a track where you have to have a really, really, really good car to make a move on the outside. Even then, you almost need a little bit of a mistake. Speaking of mistakes,
wow,
Wilkinson a little squirrely on that restart, but he's able to hold on to the lead. Really messing with Kyle Cisco as he loses second position to Gavel, who's able to retake the position. Now Gavel looking racy for the leads here as the top 3, they're all blanketed over them as we complete lap 22.
Yeah, it was major wheel spin there by the 56, almost stacking the whole field up. Like you said, Cisco falling back. And now these guys aren't leaving Wilkinson's bumper at all. And Gavel trying to stay within earshot. And I think we do have another caution on the Speedway. I didn't see who was. I seen someone falling down in the standings real quick, and I didn't catch who it was. Let's see if we
So Yellow Fever has struck Martinsville Speedway, which it sometimes does for any series. We did see it with the modifieds back in April. Of course, we also had a rain delay in that race, which, of course, washed all the rubber off the track in that one.
If I found it correctly, let's see where it started. Here's one angle of it. It's going to be happening here pretty quick. I want to see where it's... Oh, look like Rucker got sideways. Oh, Brandon Paul gets into Capuano. Carpenter involved. So we'll have to take
Another chain reaction.
Yeah, so we'll have to take a peek and see what happened to the 7 of Andrew Rucker. That's where this chain reaction kind of started. So it seems like there's a tale of 2 incidents with our first and third yellows here. Oh, looks like
he had help.
He had help. It almost looked like he didn't realize that Chad was down there. I don't think Chad came up. It kind of looked like Rucker might have came down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was just a racing incident.
Yeah.
A little interesting, of course, when you have Chad Frankenfield. Of course, he runs the circus. So, I don't know. Would he assess himself a black flag for that one? But
yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like you said, Goody, it looks like a racing incident.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I think Rucker tried to close the door, didn't realize Chad was going to be there, and he had the line. Chad had the line definitely there, but fortunately making contact, and really didn't look like it was going to be that bad of a wreck for just Rucker getting involved, but of course, Paul and Capuano kind of getting together, trying to make sure they were going to avoid this 7 laying down on the track. So a lot
Speaking of racing themes, been a lot of aggressive racing, especially on the short tracks, of course. The end of the truck race on Friday night.
Oh, man, that was wild.
A lot of hijinks and even in the Redbud 400, which was on Speed51.tv last night from Anderson Speedway, another high banks quarter mile in the Midwest. This is one in Indiana. Lot of hijinks in the final laps, but Kyle Crump coming away with the win in that one as we are back under green here with the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds as Wilkinson with the lead and Cisco trying to retake second spot, but he's not. Oh, contact with Ryan Gavel.
Yeah, they are battling for that second spot. Looks like Cisco might have the advantage now going into turn number 3. And now Blake Barney, he's going to try to take third spot from Ryan Gavel. But looks
Gavel,
like
Gavel's got a good roll off the corner, though.
Yeah, he shut the door on Barney there, able to hold him off. Wilkinson,
I don't know if he's got the best car out there, but he's got a car that's good enough to at least hold the leads. That's the thing about Martinsville is that sometimes you don't have the best car. You can make it wide, though. Meanwhile, a lot of contacts in the back
Chad
here.
And Tate, and they're still making contact. Oh, man.
Tate Lyle, of course, crashing the party tonight, much to the curmudgeon of Frankenfield so far as now he gets trapped up on the outside line. He is getting freight trained through 1 2.
Yeah, I kind of just barely seen him doing some wall riding, and I wonder how much damage is on his machine as right now Ely's looking right on the back bumper. Oh, lays a chrome horn there a little bit, so Chad free falling a little bit. He was up in around that 5th position when that contact happened. He's fallen all the way back into 8th and threatening to lose some more spots as here Jack goes on the inside. He's going to get around him, and look at Brandon Paul. I think he's going to dive his nose in there. And Chad is in a free-for-all now as he's fallen back to 10th.
Yeah, he's got damage, so car handling Illy right now is we've got another car up high in the back. I think he got up into the wall too, so a little bit of chaos here just outside of the top 10 as Wilkinson continues to lead up in front. Top 5 remain the same as we'll check on the leaders there as you see Wilkinson by about 1 or 2 car lengths. Top 4 really keeping each other in sight as it's Wilkinson, Cisco, Gavel, and Blake Barney. In eyeshot of each other. James Stanger holding down the top 5, but he is about a second behind this lead bell. Actually, 2.5 seconds behind.
Oh, and we do have
yellow.
See, I think I see who this is. Let's see. It's going to be the 36 of Kyle Walgren. Oop, a little too far. We'll get it back
4th yellow at the race, I believe.
And it was Frankenfield, almost like we were talking about him. We'll see here. Frankenfield and Walgren getting together. Fadaruso getting into the back of Walgren, sending him around, bringing out the latest yellow. But it appeared to be, I think that was around the 13th, 14th spot. Frankenfield, like you said, has some damage to the front end of his machine. And it was really slowing up a lot of the field behind him, kind of stacking him up. And that's
Pit stop.
kind of what's going on. Oh, pit stops are taking place. We better.
Blake Barney on pit roads, electing to take his fresh tires early. Is you can't do that in the Elite Modified Tour. Is again, we believe that everybody can go the distance on fuel, but you do have the option to take just one fresh set of tires. And Blake Barney has decided to hit pit roads here, just past the 1/3 mark of tonight's 100-lap race for the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds from the Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, that's very curious that he pitted. Do you think it was just because we had a little bit of a longer run and maybe he didn't think the way things were kind of playing out that he had a shot at winning? So at this point, just throw some fresh rubber on there and let's see if we can make some damage at that point. Because he's going to come out around 12, so he's not going to be all the way in the back. I believe there's only going to be about 20 cars on the lead lap.
Wide. This is a classic move that you see in a lot of 100-lap races. If you pit early, so go back out right around and see who else is going to pit first. If there's another caution, I think there's going to be, and I think there probably will be the way we've been racing here tonight. So I think he's going to go out there, take it easy throughout the middle part of the race, see who else comes to pit roads, and one or two things will happen. He'll get to a point in the race where he'll drop the hammer, go after the guys who are on older tires, or everybody else is going to pit, and he will come away with the leads. But he's going to have to drive like mad to keep them behind him.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, too, kind of taking it easy. He's, again, around the 12th position, and it appears that Fody, see Tyler Fody ahead of him in the 11th spot, but kind of getting close to that calamity area in the field where we've seen a lot of these cautions come out. So hopefully for Barney, he didn't put himself in the danger zone to get involved with the yellow. But we'll see what happens here. He does have the fresh rubber, and it looks like we're ready to go back green flag. The pace car is diving off.
Pace car, and it will get off the track to cover. Wilkinson, Cisco still the top two. As Wilkinson really firing off early, though. He so far, at least to our knowledge, hasn't received any warnings, but he's able to maintain lead, but not able to get a big lead on Cisco as he is right there on his back bumpers. We now work lap 41 as Barney getting squirrely there in the back of the field. At least I think that was Barney. It was either Barney or Brandon Paul as Cisco takes the lead.
Yeah, Cisco just kind of forcing his way through there, and it looks like Wilkinson's like, hey, man, go get it. I still got to make these tires last. Another 60 laps, and there's a wreck on the backstretch. Caution is out. We'll see what happened there. Let's see if I can...
One of those nights.
Oh, man, that might have been our newcomer, Tate Lytle, getting involved. That was looked like a wild wreck here.
It's Kaner. Right. Oh, he got punted.
And, oh, man, Rucker goes around as well, causing calamity. And look, you see the car right there. Blake Barney getting into that mess.
That's the risk you run when you pit early. You can't control your own destiny.
Yeah, I'll kind of be curious to see what he saw going with that wreck. We'll take a peek here. As he was held up for... We're going to get an onboard angle here. So, it's, he's trying to, like you said, mind his own business here. Get all that calamity. And, it looked like it was going to be the good way to go. But
now, here's the good news, though, is that he did hit Rucker squarely with the front bumpers. So, hopefully no suspension damage to the front of that modified.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't hit him at a too much of a high rate of speed, so he should be okay there. But again, losing quite a bit of track position that well, I guess now he's still in 10th, so some cars may be pitting there as well. So I guess kind of comes out in a wash, but a scary moment there for Blake Barney, like you said, pitting early and then getting involved in the last wreck as well. And you see Rucker too, who is up in the top 5 early for much of the race, getting involved in his second incident tonight. He'll be back in 16th, the last car on the lead lap. You see him trying to catch up after pitting. See Tate Lytle still staying on the lead lap as well after getting spun out there as well. So we're not even halfway yet, Connor. And man, this is the aggressiveness has has been ramped up pretty much since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing just to see, again, the aim patience out there from a lot of guys, and just kind of a little bit of a lack of respect. Really, again, it's just, I don't know what's going on, but we've been seeing that it's a lot in the real worlds lately, and unfortunately it has leaked over here to the Elite Racing League here, at least on Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds. So good news though, there's still plenty of racing left to go, and hopefully these guys will calm down here for final 50 plus laps. As again, want to thank you for joining us here on the Elite Racing Network tonight, along with Mike Goodman. I'm Connor Sullivan here on the call. This is race number 5 of 8 of the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds, as we head to, and I do not have the schedule. This isn't quite embarrassing.
Stafford is next week.
All right, Stafford Motor Speedway next week, my home track.
I knew you were going to get excited for it.
Yep, Stafford's a true mecca for modified racing, more so than Bowman Great Stadium. Just my humble opinion, though. As we are ready to go back to green, pace car ducks for cover. Cisco now the leader, and he's the one that gets the getaway this time, as Wilkinson leads. Gavel going to be able to hold off Stinger for P3, as the top of the field now gets into single file formation as we work lap number 48.
Yeah, and see Cisco pulling off to a big lead, but here, Barney was trying to work his way up through the field, gets pushed on the outside. He's going to lose a bunch of positions as he was up into the top 10. Man, unless he's trying to get back in line, he looks like he's off the pace quite a bit right now as he's fallen back to 12th. And a wreck on the backstretch.
Yes, wow. Back half of the field is just convinced. He's just, I think, trying to have a demo derby out there tonight.
Yeah.
We are back under the yellow flag. I think it's going to be the 6th of the night.
6th caution flag of the night. We'll take a look and see what brought out that yellow. But yeah, these guys got to settle down a little bit. A lot of racing to go here, boys. Kind of that starts here with the 11 of Brian Kramer.
Yeah, just trying to make it 3 wides. You can 3 wide at Martinsville. That is a big no-no.
Yep.
It does not work. You will have a crash every time, and this time was not the case. I know that everybody was trying to jump on it, but there are just sometimes you gotta be patient, even when you got a guy in front of you that has made a mistake.
Yeah, because it looked like Kramer kind of made a mistake. You see, Mendonia is trying to work on the outside of this whole the Brent Jones and trying to get by the 11, and that field's gonna funnel back somewhere, especially once you get towards the straightaway. You know, it might work in the middle of the corner, but usually on exit, that's what happens. And like I said, that's everybody. Just take a deep breath, guys. We're just a little bit past halfway. A lot of way to go.
Flag in the first half of the race. I get the feeling that Chad Frankenfield is not too pleased with the drivers out there right now. Probably giving them a bit of a talking to on the chat here. I was gonna say Ray Seaver, but gotta remember we're on iRacing here, so
I will say
chat is probably pretty active right now.
Yeah, he's it's been known in various elite races, and it's not unknown to happen at Martinsville. It's actually happened quite a bit where after too many yells in a short period of time, he'll give one of his famous speeches of we got to be better, I got to be better. He's been involved in incidents too, and let's make some green flag laps here, boys.
Yeah, of course. Every time I think about promoters or track owners, race directors, you name it, kind of just getting on the horn during the race to their drivers. I think the most famous story I've ever heard was the late Tom Curley, who was the owner the co-owner and promoter of both Thunder Road Speed Bowl up in Vermont, as well as the American Canadian Tour for late models. Heard one time back in the day, there was a race that was so bad that he stopped all the cars, brought them to the pits, got all the drivers out, and read them the riot act. That's how bad it was.
Wow. Did it work?
I don't know. That's the only part of the story I heard. So, but
I mean, you'd hope so.
but well, let's see if there's going to be some improvement here. Cisco, another great restart as he gets on the getaway, as Wilkinson will defend to the inside. As we are side by side for third position. James Stanger on the outside, Ryan Gavel on the inside.
And it looks like just as quick as we get going, another caution. Let's see if we can get
Getting the riot. I'm pulling the riot act.
Yeah, I think it's time. And we'll see what brought out the yellow. It was a quick yellow, barely getting the green flag here. See Daryl Canfield. Oh, that was an interesting one. And from the quick look, it almost appeared that the 71 drove it in too deep, but it might have been the 87 of Hines getting into the 71 that gets into the 17, and then the 87 gets into the 17 as well. Poor Daryl. Is he going to drive right off the front end? Yep, he does, and he'll keep going.
And he's going to be upset about that one. He was just an innocent victim in that one.
Yeah, and it even appeared to be the 71 of Carpenter, a little bit of an innocent victim as well, as it appeared that just a little bit too excited by that 87. We'll get the replay here as he tries to make a move on the inside. And at that point for Carpenter, it was probably hard for him to slow down, getting hit in the rear. I know Richard Hines is a very clean driver. I'm sure he didn't mean to, but it's almost like they always say cautions breed cautions, but it's like these guys have been under so many pace laps so far in this race, and you almost get too excited once the green flag goes out, and you're like a little kid, you don't know what to do. Then sometimes you maybe overdrive it or do something that you don't normally do, and I think that's what we're kind of seeing a little bit here tonight.
Yep. So 7th yellow flag here as we are about to complete lap number 58.
Looks like Canfield is
possibly waiting for the wave
around, yeah. And now with we had 23 cars start the race, and he will be the last car on the lead lap in 15th position. Which just shows you how much carnage we've seen so far in this race. And even some of these guys, Andrew Rucker, who got involved in a couple incidents, Tate Lytle, they're back in 8th and 9th right now. You see, I was going to see where Blake Barney is. I don't know if he had to... He's a lap down, so I don't know, but he had to maybe get some damage fixed. See him exiting pit road. So he almost going down a second lap. But yeah, some of these guys that have been involved in multiple incidents, they are working their way back up into the top 10. But I would say right now, Connor, the guys that are in the top 5, they've been kept it clean all night and basically been in the top 5 all night.
Well, actually, Jack Ely, he's up to 5th now. He was actually involved in one of those first yellow flags out there.
Oh, that's right.
He's made all the necessary repairs to his car, and he's back in. And we see Tyler Fode's even back up in there after he was involved in some early yellows. As we are back under green now, 60 laps in the book. Gavel looking to Wilkinson on the inside as Cisco lengthens the lead.
Right, he's been.
Gavel, he was there, and now he's got Stanger to his outside. Stanger trying to make a move on the outside.
Yeah, and Stanger. Whoa, Gavel getting on the curb. That didn't help his case, and he's going to fall back into 4th. Jake Ely, he's going to try to make that move. Man, it seems like they're getting the outside line working. Well, man, as I say that, Ely's going to drop back, lose a spot to Fody.
Stanger on the outside. Very impressive move.
That was a move.
Tyler Fode, the points leader, trying to get back into the top 5 as he's battling against Jack Ely.
Yeah, we've seen that first caution, how mangled his front end got. And you see right there going down the backstretch, still has that speed though.
So Fode back to the top spot. A little contact from Ely, but Ely kind of upsets the front end of his own car instead. As we see Rucker, who's been at the heart of many of these cautions, going for 7th from Tate Lytle. I'm sorry, Jesse Rasmus, actually.
Rasmus, yeah, he's going to fall back into the 9th position. And Rucker, yeah, it looks like a lot of Nerf bars are straight after getting involved in a couple incidents, so he's still got that speed. He's going to try to show that last week was no fluke. He's working that himself up in the 8th position. We take a look back up. Oh, Fode goes around, gets hit by a lap car. Oh, man, Rucker hits him too.
Oh, man.
Oh, interesting.
Right. When things were starting to go Tyler Fode's way.
They don't. Yeah.
More trouble, and we are under our 8th yellow of the race. Still more than 30 laps to go.
So, yeah, very interesting. I think that was the 11 of Brian Kramer, who is 10 laps down, coming back on the track.
Let's see.
Oh, looks like they
no.
tangled. Oh.
Come on. Man, I'm talking like Jared Daly right now. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
So,
it's one of those nights.
It's
one of those nights.
It must be a full moon at Martinsville here, because let's see what Fode kind of seen out his cockpit
I
here.
can tell outside my window because it's been cloudy once again for the last 3 days.
Oh, man. Didn't see
He had a steady line going, too. Did not look like he cut down.
No, it did not. I'm wondering if just Kramer pulling up a little bit. I'm sure his car might have been damaged from his earlier incident. And unfortunately, there's going to be some more damage that needs to be fixed on our points leader, Tyler Fode. And like you said, just as things were starting to look up, things are going pretty south quickly, as he is now going to be scored down 1 lap along with him and Andrew Rucker. So put only 14 cars currently on the lead lap. Daryl Canfield will be this car scored in the last car that's in the lead lap position, but you see him on pit road right in front of Fode and Brent Jones there on pit road as well.
Yeah, he got some damage and prior crashes. Again, he had a good run going that kind of got spoiled by somebody else's doing.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm thinking here, you have Cisco, Wilkinson, Stanger, and Gavel that have basically been incident-free so far in this race. We see Jack Ely, I think he did get involved in one incident. Rasmus, Lytle, Walgren, Drunowski. Drunowski, he had a wicked spin. Almost looked like he lost a lap early in the race, and he's back on the lead lap in 9th. And Frankenfield in 10th. So a lot of carnage. So I hope I didn't put the announcer's jinx on our top 4, because I think they've been shaping up to put on a good show if we at least get some green flag laps in.
Well, I don't know about the green flag laps, but we'll see. Is Wilkinson having some connection issues possibly now? As we are now working lap number 70. We'll have 30 laps to go when they hit the line.
And they'll be going back to green flag racing, and yeah, let's see if Cisco can get one of his patented great restarts here. Wilkinson, see if he figured out the timing.
Cisco runs him a little high, and he gets the timing down, as that opens the door for Stanger, who goes to the inside as Wilkinson winks out again. James Stanger, he's all the way up into 2nd position, but now Gavel, he wants to get back into the runner-up spot, as he is side by side with Wilkinson through 3 and 4. Yes, indeed, give Ryan Gavel 3rd position now, as Brandon Wilkinson, he is falling back on this restart now. He's going to be under fire from Jack Ely.
Yeah, man, he was in a free-for-all trying to get that rhythm back going on the inside. He'll fall back into the third spot, or fourth spot. Oh, it looks like he, little connection issues going on here. Looks like Drunelski and Rasmus are trying to battle here for, that will be for the 7th position. Looks like everything kind of tucked away here. They try to chase down Lytle. But
Lytle's been at the heart of a couple of these crashes as well, but he's been able to recover very nicely. He's again 13 cars on the lead lap here as we'll come back to complete 74 laps.
And Cisco is checking out on Stanger. Stanger got in that 2nd position, but don't look out now. He's got that 12 car right behind him, right on his rear bumper.
Yep, so Cisco, I think the only thing he'll have to watch is lap traffic. If we continue under the green flag, as we see Gavel's trying to set up the crossover move.
I'll say don't jinx him about the green flag laps, man. Don't do that.
Oh, a little bit of a slip from James Stanger, and it allows Gavel to get back to the inside, but Stanger, a good run off the corners, costs Gavel a little bit of momentum, but Brandon Wilkinson unable to capitalize as he went into turn 3 a little too hot as the connection issues continue for him. As Stanger, another bobble.
Yeah, Stanger bobbles. That's going to cost him 2nd position. Move Gavel up into this 2 spot, but can he pull the crossover move here? Looks like he might try to. Oh, Gavel throws a block. I think Stanger's going to get there.
Stanger a little hot in, but Gavel goes up the end. We have a yellow flag, which is good news for Ryan Gavel. Not good news for the rest of the fields and our nerves, as that will be the 9th yellow flag.
Oh, just bad. Let's see what brought out this yellow. I think it's going to be from our Bristol winner, Fadaruso. And we might have a common theme here with the past couple wrecks. Let's see. I'm gonna get a good view for this one. All right. So pretty hard bump by the 11 of Kramer, sending around the 26 of Fadaruso. So I don't know if there was some sort of payback, but it kind of looked like that was a little intentional.
Kramer.
Ooh, and he looks like
and he almost.
I think
Cisco there coming to the yellow.
I think there might have been a little contact. Ooh.
Just to the Nerf bar, he's fine.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, Kramer, he's been at the roots of some of these past couple of yellow flags. I'm sure after the race, Chad may have a couple of extra words for him.
Yeah, at least the last 2 were very questionable indeed. With the incident with Fody, he maybe wasn't trying to do anything there, but I would have to say that caution there, it looked like he was definitely shoving Fadaruso into the corner. I don't think Fadaruso could have slowed down if he wanted to.
Nope. Definitely impossible when somebody else is using you for their brakes.
Yeah, I'm even thinking his rear tires weren't even touching the ground, or if it was in real life, I think that would be the case. It was pretty intentional there. So we'll give him the Naughty Boy of the Race award here.
Are we making that a thing now?
We can. Well, I think it's fitting tonight at least.
Yes, indeed. As again, next race for the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modified Tour, it will be Stafford Motor Speedway next week, as we will be back here on the Elite Racing Network. We hope, I'm going to say tentatively, tomorrow night for the Firecracker 200 from Daytona International Speedway, as we get into the B seasons for 2021 for the Cup Series, Grand National, and the trucks.
I would say, Connor, I would produce and join you again up in the booth, but I'm running in it tomorrow. So otherwise, I would be right back here
Nothing wrong with
doing
that.
race. I know. See, I was juggling the microphone and the steering wheel like Tate Lytle was tonight.
Yep. So definitely looking forward to getting the second season of at least of 2021 underway here on the Elite Racing Network tomorrow night. But we still got to sell things here at Martinsville in the modifieds. Back underway. Another great restart for Cisco. Gallo, though, he's able to stick with him this time and not let Stanger get to his inside as we let work lap number 84.
Yeah, it looked like Gavel was right there on the bumper, but Cisco has been able to pull away the past couple restarts. And we look back, these guys right before last caution were battling for this position. They're still at it as, man, they're running each other close, Dronowski and Rasmussen. Oh, they make a little contact. It looks like someone's smoking ahead of these guys.
Yeah, a little bit of a puff of smoke up in front. Don't see any wayward cars as we see Dronowski able to complete the move on the outside. Meanwhile, Wilkinson trying to retake third position from James Stanger, but Stanger having none of it.
Stanger kind of gets a little loose, almost throws a block on Wilkinson. Wilkinson's trying to go on the outside. Does he get the run? Nope, Stanger's going to hold him off for now, but Wilkinson's right there.
Wilkinson gained the run down the front straightaway, but does not tuck into the inside. Stanger a little loose through 1 and 2. Here comes Wilkinson.
Put Wilkinson back up. He's hungry. He's going to try to get back up into the top spot where he was not too many laps ago.
Of course, these guys at the front of the fields have not pitted, but might not be such a detriment, though, with the amount of laps under the yellow flag that we have seen in this race.
Yeah, and even a lot of the guys who did pit, they probably got a little bit of damage to their cars as, again, these guys in the top four been able to keep it relatively clean so far, as right now Cisco is pulling away about a half a second over Ryan Gavel as they're going to come down to lap 90.
Yep, so 89 in the books, now working lap number 90. When they come back around next time, they'll have the two hands in the air signifying the final 10 laps as Cisco continues to hold about a half-second lead over Gavel as now he'll come off turn number 4 across the line, 10 to go.
10 laps to go. Let's see. Check out the back of the pack. Jake Ely is going to get some little bit of noise from Tate Lytle as he's going to try to work back into the top 5 on the 81.
So Jack Ely's had a nice recovery since getting involved in one of the very first yellow flags of the night. As he's trying to come away with a top 5 position. But I'll tell you what, Dronowski's still on the move. He wants to get one better and take away that 6th spot from Lytle.
Yeah, a lot of these guys trying to recover with earlier incidents. Lytle getting involved in a couple of them. And so did Dronowski. And how about this Stanger? And that looks like he's kind of dropped back, fallen out of touch over those top 3. It looks like Gavel's closed in a little bit. He got it under a half a second for a second there. And Wilkinson's trying to reel in Gavel for that 2nd spot as well. Take a peek there. It looks like those gaps are closing in a little bit. Top 3, you see them all on screen there.
It took over 90 laps, but everybody's finally being able to get into a rhythm here. Cisco, though, he has not skipped a beat. He has had some truly tremendous restarts, including the one that got him the lead originally in this race and really paid off as he's been able to keep Ryan Gavel in his mirror now as they come across the line. There will now be 5 laps to go.
Yeah, 5 to go. Cisco, once he took the lead, he never really looked back. He's kind of maintaining this half a second lead over Ryan Gavel. And we do have a caution on the racetrack.
Man, which means we are going to be going to overtime, much to Kyle Cisco's curmudgeon.
Oh, this is going to be interesting, and this might have been
Just when you thought we were starting to get into a rhythm, too.
Yeah, and I think again we jinxed it. And it looks like it was going to be Blake Barney that was involved in this wreck.
No, there's been too much hijinks tonight. This is not on any means.
Yeah, that's true.
Daryl Canfield
Oh boy.
with the chrome horn.
Sending him around. Sending Blake Barney around. And keep going, but it was enough to bring out the yellow. And yeah, like I would have to agree. I think yeah, we're way beyond the jinxing point. I think they've done that enough to themselves tonight. But it's gonna be interesting to see it. Like Cisco, we've seen how great he's been on restarts thus far. I would have to say it's gonna be tough to beat that 6 car right now.
But Cisco, he's had the restarts completely nailed down here. I think it's going to take an absolute miracle at this point if either Ryan Galvo or Brandon Wilkinson are going to steal this away from him.
Yeah, it's going to take something aggressive, something maybe a little crazy if they're going to have a shot at beating that 6 machine. Gavel, there was a couple times it looked like he might have had a position. A pretty good restart as well on the outside. And Wilkinson, I guess you can never count him out anytime he hops behind one of these modifieds on iRacing, that's for sure. So you never know what's going to happen. And I guess the way the night's going, too, we might not even be done wrecking.
No, indeed. And who knows? Leaders might have something up their sleeves as well as this yellow-black continues on. Lights still blaze on top the iRacing pace car.
Yeah, it's still 13 cars on the lead lap, and I think there's officially, if I'm checking the scoring here correctly, there's no one lap down. Chad Frankenfield 14th, 2 laps down, so just a lot of carnage here tonight. Kind of unfortunate. I think these top 3 were shaping up to see some good green flag action, but they have one more chance. As it looks like they're coming down to the 1 to go signal, and lights are off. Let's see if they can put on the show that I think they've been trying to shape up to put on. So get ready to go back to green flag racing.
Kyle Cisco, Ryan Galvo, your front row. Brandon Wilkinson, James Stanger in row 2. Jack Ely and Tate Lytle. Those are your top 3 rows. Those are the drivers who will be going for the win here in tonight's 100-lap feature. The Martinsville Speedway pace car heads to cover. Field in 3 and 4.
Oh.
Cisco really takes off on this time as Gavel caught sleeping a little bit as we are within the final 2 laps. As Wilkinson, a desperate attempt to try and retake second, but Gavel holds tough on the outside.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had anything for the way Cisco is doing these restarts. Ooh, looks like Stanger was trying to battle for that third position.
White flag. Cisco, meanwhile, no pressure from behind. Nobody in front of him. He'll wheel it through 3 and 4. And we are going to have our 5th different winner of the season. Kyle Cisco takes the win at the Martinsville Speedway in the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds.
Man, I think it shows you the competitiveness of this series with 5 different races, 5 different winners. That's 6 machine able to get the victory here tonight. Congratulations to him. How about Ryan Gavel, which with some of the stuff that's been happening with Fody and Rucker, he might be in position to put himself right up in the points mix as well. Of course, Wilkinson finishing 3rd, who's still yet to get in victory lane. I thought tonight would have been a good night for him to break through and get in victory lane. Still a good finish. Finishes on the podium in 3rd. So he's more points racing. Usually he runs for those checkered flags. It's still kind of something to get used to here.
So the celebratory donuts from Kyle Cisco. Nobody had an answer for him. It was going to take a mistake on his part, and he made none here as he goes to, well, he did make a mistake there. He hit the wall
Hit the wall.
doing the donut. So final results: Cisco, your winner over Ryan Gavel. Brandon Wilkinson still shut out of victory lane. He'll have to sell for a top 3 finish. James Stenger, Jackie Ely, your top 5. And it's Mitch Trudowski, Tate Lytle, the recovery to finish in 7th. Jesse Rasmus, Kyle Walgren, and Daryl Canfield rounding out the top 10. Also a good recovery for Canfield. So, of course, he was involved in that final yellow flag there. As we move on there again, Tyler Fode, your points leader coming in. Will he be after tonight? It's going to be very interesting to see how the points shake out.
Yeah, we'll have to keep keep you guys updated next week on the point scenario with the rough night for Tyler Fode once again. Andrew Rucker, last week's winner, you see him back in 18th. A lot of these guys obviously having a lot of issues throughout the night. As you see Hines, Jones, and Kaner round out the finishing order. But let's see, with that, we do have our second place finisher, Ryan Gavel, joining us up here in the booth right now, so we'll bring him in quick. And Ryan, looks like you were pretty fast, but it seemed like on those restarts, and there's plenty of them tonight, that you just couldn't keep up on the back bumper of Cisco.
Yeah, we were good. Definitely top 5 car for sure. I had the right strategy of not pitting. I know a couple guys, Barney decided to pit at one point. I had the feeling that would not be the move. I just wanted to keep the track position. Got the jump on Wilkinson, was able to battle with the 14 car for a little while. Second was probably as best as I could have gotten. Cisco was on rails, practice, qualifying, everything. I mean, he was just as fast as they got. I don't know how he was doing it, so he deserved every bit of that win. But I'm very happy with second. Cisco's missed a couple races, so that's top of the guys that are in the championship battle. And I know other than Wilkinson getting third, I mean, Fode and Rucker, the other 2 guys in the points hunt, had rough races. They got caught up in some wrecks. So glad to come out with a good points run, P2. I'll take it any day.
How frustrating were the yellow flags?
It was definitely a little frustrating. It's definitely expected at Martinsville of any short track. You know, Martinsville's going to have a ton of cautions. We've seen it in any of these Elite Racing League races, in any races in iRacing period. Even the pros, they're going to tear stuff up at Martinsville. So, I mean, I expected it. Was it frustrating? Sure. But we got a couple decent enough runs in my opinion, that it wasn't the worst thing ever. There's been worse races I've seen on short tracks before on iRacing. So it was definitely frustrating, but it worked out in the end. I'm glad I was not involved in any of them. So we were able to start up front and stay ahead of all the wrecks.
So one thing Connor and I were talking about, you know, with all the cautions, did Chad end up giving one of his famous "we got to do better" speeches at any time at all tonight?
You know, it's been surprising that he has been awfully quiet about any sort of rules and any sort of caution problems. So he seemed content with it. He was sad that he got and upset about how he got caught up in some of the mess, but it wasn't the worst thing ever, I don't think. So he seemed to act the same way as most of us. There was some people that were upset with some people for sure. There was some tempers overflowing as you'd get at this track. But no, Chad was actually pretty calm.
But with that, we'll open the floor for you for any shout-outs you want to give for that solid second place and good run for your points championship here.
Yeah, definitely want to thank everyone at the Elite Racing League, Chad, and everybody for putting the league together. You guys up here in the booth, Connor, Michael. I got to thank everyone at Hacksaw Motorsports. Daryl Canfield was able to pull off top 10. Brandon was having a good run there earlier in the race, but got caught up in some accidents. So he finished further back, but he crawled home for a P17 finish. Got to thank everyone at Hacksaw. Got to thank WesleyOutland.com for being on board with our sponsorship this week. And everyone at the Maconi setup shop as well for putting together the setups for this league and making great setups overall.
Well, awesome. Again, great run. And next week, Stafford, got to be pumped up for that race next week.
Yeah, it should be a good one. A track that I go to just about every weekend. And it's a fun track for sure. I actually really haven't done a lot of iRacing races there, so I got to get some practice in, that's for sure, because it's a track that I'm really not familiar with on iRacing as much as most tracks. So definitely got to do some practice laps heading into that one. But it's a fun track to go to, that's for sure. So I'm excited for next week.
Well, good luck, and again, congratulations on the second place run, and hopefully we talking to you right here next week, or maybe even tomorrow, if the Firecracker 200. If you're, I don't even know if you're running it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence right now. We'll see. If
Oh.
I'm around tomorrow, I'm going to be in it. So we'll see. It should be a good race, though, tomorrow night. I'll be watching if I'm not in it.
Sounds good. Well, again, have a good night, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
You bet. So Connor Pierce, that's the only only person that showed up for interviews this week. It looks like maybe Wilkinson, maybe a little bit too dejected, not getting into victory lane, and Cisco, man, he's probably, the way he was jumping the restart, he's jumping to the party. He's already off. He's probably got a couple beers in him already.
Yeah, why not? Definitely a job well done. He had the thing that was going to win you the race tonight with all the yellow flags was definitely going to be nailing the restarts, and nail the restarts. He did a very good effort out there. As well, we are down with 1/2 mile, and we're going to be on to another flat half mile with Stafford's Motor Speedway coming up next week, but entirely different track though. Straightaways aren't as long, and you got those nice long corners there. Definitely one of the top tracks for modified racing, whether it's on iRacing or in the real world. Looking forward to that show. I believe that will be another 100 lapper next week, same time, 7:50 on the Elite Racing Network next Tuesday.
Yeah, and again, kind of like Connor and we were talking about, hopefully tomorrow night we'll have the Firecracker 200 right here on Elite Racing Network. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to get updates and stuff for when our next race is. But other than that, we'll be right back here next week at Stafford Motor Speedway. For Connor Sullivan, I'm Mike Goodman. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's Martinsville 100.